Hello folks, we are at the Johnny Ringo gravesite in Turkey Creek Canyon, Arizona. You're probably familiar with the scene toward the end of Tombstone where him and Doc Holliday face off and are circling each other in a gunfighter's duel. Well, it didn't happen that way, but this is a spot where Ringo was killed. And you'll remember even in the movie, Doc Holliday propped him up against a tree. That is the tree right over there where Johnny Ringo's body was found. The official coroner's verdict was that it was a suicide, but most Tombstone historians are pretty certain that Buckskin Frank Leslie killed him. There's all kind of other theories that Wyatt Earp returned and killed him and Doc Holliday, but there's actually a court record that pretty much proves that Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday were in Colorado at the time, so it's pretty solid that they didn't kill him. Considering the remoteness of this location, I believe it was probably either Buckskin Frank Leslie or due to the fact that Johnny Ringo had a long history of being depressed and drinking alcohol heavily. There is a good chance, in my opinion, that he possibly did kill himself. Now, there was some strange circumstances that I've read about. I think supposedly his gun belt was buckled upside down on him and some other things, but I mean, who knows what his mental state was or how drunk he was out here at the time. But anyway, let me walk you a little closer to see this. That is the grave of the legendary gunfighter, Johnny Ringo, you're looking at. Back in those days, they would pile these heavy rocks over the grave to prevent coyotes or other animals from digging them up. He died on July 13th of 1882 is when they found him here. I'm going to walk you over to the tree where his body was found. There's also a state historical marker out here between the grave and the actual death site to my left. It says, Historic Site, John Ringo. The remains of this noted gunman and outlaw lie here. A teamster traveling from West Turkey Creek found the body sitting in the fork of a nearby oak tree with a bullet hole in the right temple. A coroner's jury reported the death to be suicide, and Ringo was buried on the spot. There were others who viewed the body and maintained that the July 13th, 1882 death of Ringo was murder. And that's Turkey Creek behind the oak tree. And amazingly, this oak tree, after all these years, is still here. And from everything I've ever read on this topic, his body was found right there at the base of the tree where the three stumps kind of come together. He was laying against that tree dead. And there's a picture of, trying to think of Billy Breckenridge. He was a Tombstone deputy way back when. There's a picture of him before he died out here at this site, and he was sitting in the approximate location where they found Ringo's body. And if memory serves me correctly from my first trip out here years ago, I believe the ranch owners, the Sanders family, had stated that that limb there got knocked down after a lightning strike. So, but aside from that damage, you're looking at the actual tree where Johnny Ringo was found dead. The last time I was at this location was 2003. And we are in October of 2018. Back up here to give you one last view of the whole scene as it looks. Many people visit the town of Tombstone each year, but not near as many people know exactly where Johnny Ringo was killed, so this is kind of a place off of the beaten path. That's why I wanted to share this video with you. I hope you enjoyed it. God bless.